It's V Sakura. Those are cool. Look at that towards fierce. Is that towards fierce? I think so. Animation's very different in alpha. Breeze also got like a hop kick, the towards medium kick. Evil Ryu has it in SF4. When's the DMC3 stream? That'd be kind of fun. Look how fast the fireballs charge. I'm jealous. Wish Sakura SF5 fireballs were that fast. The counter activate. You wait for them to commit, and then you activate, and then you've got the invincibility, and you can see what they committed to. I didn't play 5. The panties. 4 would be good too, I guess. Is it on? I guess it's on. It's on Steam, right? Pretty sure. I think one of the games I need to play soon is just a Steam game. There's so many Steam games I've been putting off. When am I gonna do another Momodora? When am I gonna play Deltarune? Actually. No, I haven't. I have mixed feelings on watching, oh, I love that, the counter hit. Mixed feelings on watching, V-Sav. Even when it's good, it's just gross. I feel like it's not a very entertaining spectator game. I do kind of like it, and I played it a bit too. I'm not like a fucking Vampire Savior virgin. Sodom's pretty gross too. Cool. Sodom's mostly, most characters in Alpha are mostly just like kind of good hitbox pokes, you know? And that's what Sodom is too. He technically has a command grab, that's it. But it's like a slow, it's like a Q style command grab. There's no combo, but it's like slow with big range. But apart from that, he's mostly just like good normals. His slide is like actually low profile. It's low profile as fuck. That was cool. It wasn't V-ISM banned, it was just A-ISM only. So it just, you know, forced everyone to pick A. Not every character who, you know, you could have picked, you couldn't have picked X if you want to, and some characters do actually like X. I would say A is almost universally better than X, though, to be honest. But it's not like free. Some characters like their X is about as good as their A. And then some of them, the character is just really different on the X, so you just pick the X because of that. Like Chun-Li and Adon. They have unique mechanics in their X. If you pick Sodom and X, his Jite there are replaced with katanas. But it's purely cosmetic, they have the same range, all the same hitboxes. I've never played any Romancing Saga game, I don't think. I remember seeing ads for it at the end of like Game Informer. Damn, that's how we play. You see that? Walk forward jab times like 6. Welcome to Karin. Karin's pretty nasty in this game, honestly. She's secret top. Actually, I don't think it's a secret anymore. I think most people agree that she's like a really fucking good character. Chun has different specials than other Chuns, which is kind of neat. Her fireball works differently, and so does her. She's got a spinning bird kick, which most of the Chun-Lis in this game don't have. A and V don't, rather. And then only V Chun-Li, I think, has a Tenshokaku. So every single Chun-Li has technically different special moves. I think all the Nashes have a dash. I think it's just Nash. It's very rare a character who has something like that that's locked behind an ISM. Dan's push block is locked behind an ISM. That's V only. But Juni always has hers, even though it's the same push block. Oh yeah, V Cody has the step. He doesn't? Okay, I lied. X Sakura. X Sakura is neat because if she gets a jump in, you're dizzy. That's cool. And also, just any combo into Shoken does like so much damage. X-ism damage is no joke. Just like fucking low short, fucking back fierce or whatever it is. I think it is back. It might just be fierce. I think it's just fierce. Sodom does a lot of damage in guard damage. Yeah. That link is exclusive to X-ism. And man, it hurts. I think characters in X just have higher stun anyway, but she has a route that leads to especially high stun. There are a decent number of characters who can dizzy you off a jumping in this game. Ryu's probably the most famous one, because that one's actually quite practical. Wow, he got. Did he just get regrounded? Oh, he did his thing. He did that. Okay, I was like super weirded out by that interaction. He did the walking. Did it again there too. It's kind of like bad spray, but you can do it. You can do it instead of teching a landing. But it's like the same idea as bad spray. I think Alpha's very fun to play. It's decent to watch too. The mechanics all work really nicely, and it's very fast-paced. And nothing really feels bullshit. Like, obviously V-ISM is pretty bullshit. But, you know. I was always weirded out that that they brought back the whatever super she's got in SF4. Instead of, like, her default super in this game is the Shoyu Repa. I think if you've got a short development cycle, you want a fighting game that's just, you have no idea, like, just what's in it. You just fucking make it, and you see what people come up with. But Capcom has moved on to fighting games with long development cycles. So you really want something stable. I understand the change, but I think it's less fun. But that being said, it's like, it's fun to try and find something and then try and use it against someone, but it's not fun to get hit by some shit you've never seen before. There's a lot of reasons old Street Fighter games are more jank than modern ones. Old ones being everything 3 and before, and modern ones being 4 and after, I guess. Pretty much every Street Fighter is less jank than the previous one. And it's like I feel like I appreciate the move away from jankiness overall. Even though SF3 is my favorite in the series, I just feel like I appreciate the move away from jankiness. But a lot of it is just like, it's not all... I don't know how to say this. There's a lot of quality of life stuff, and then there's a lot of, like, less random bullshit. And it's hard to tell whether I appreciate... They're both, like, removing jankiness, you know what I mean? It's hard to say whether I appreciate the quality of life more. It's hard to say if I feel better just because the quality of life's better, or if I feel better because there's, like, less bullshit. There are certain things in old fighting games where it's like, well, I can never do that, so I'll never be good. You know what I mean? Like, everyone in fucking Vampire Savior has something like that. Like, when I saw weird dash cancel stuff, like fucking Riku's Last Trial and Vampire and Night Warriors or whatever. The second one. And the revival. Like Baby Bonnie Hood, like, run stuff. Like El Fuerte runs Stop Fierce. Sometimes it's just something crazy hard that's just as fast as your fingers move, that's like how fast you can do it. Or something like that, or something just very, very precise. And it's like, I kind of know that I'm never going to be able to do that. I know I'm never going to be able to fucking do Run Stop Fierces. Maybe I would if I dedicated a super long time to practicing it, and also like picked up a new input method, because I don't know if I can do it on pad at all. And when I think about things like that, I'm like put off even trying to get it to the game, because like I just think about, like, I would never be an El Fuerte main, because I don't want to fucking have to worry about Run Stop Fierce someday in the future. You know what I mean? And old fighting games have stuff like that a lot more than modern fighting games do. El Fuerte is one of the only examples I can think of in SF4. Or like Minot stuff. I don't think I'll ever be able to do Minot combos to the same degree that like Sako can. And also, I don't like the idea that I won't ever be able to reach an optimum level of play. Nice. So that just puts me off playing the whole character. I mean, I technically don't have perfect Shoryuken motions. All the time in SF5, I do a super trying to do a mash Shoryuken, and they have different inputs. Mash Shoryuken is repeated down to down forward, and never has a straight forward. Whereas a super does have a straight forward, or else it'll never come out. So I make a mistake where there's an execution thing you can do where you should theoretically never make a mistake, even though I've been playing Street Fighter for like 14 years. That being said, Oro doesn't have a Shoryuken, so I don't know if we can count the Oro years. Or more accurately, Oro Shoryuken is a flash kick. I spent the first 8 years playing Street Fighter not doing any Shoryuken motions. Remy doesn't have a Shoryu input. He has a quarter circle back, yeah. And then just charge moves. He's got 3 charge moves in a quarter circle. Necro's got just the electricity, I think. Dudley's got just the uppercut. Ooh, it was an uppercut. He could have blocked it. You can't punish activate, I don't think, unless it's a 50% activate, which that wasn't. Actually, how did the uppercut even hit? Nice, the air activate. That's so expensive, but it can be really good. It's a way you can have invincibility coming down. I don't know, I think it's both maybe. I think a lot of people playing Smash on 64 played a game that they'd never, like, you know. It's very addictive. Smash is the kind of game where you can just turn beam swords as the only item and turn drop rates to very high and set stocks to 99 and just play for an hour. It's that kind of game. The idea with the percentages and the ring outs is genius. It works really well mechanically. I'm sure you guys don't need me to explain it. But I think it's really cool that, like, you know, as you get more damage on the opponent, more and more things turn into kill moves. That's a really neat idea. So, like, at first, you know, maybe only a fully charged smash will kill at, like, 40%. But then you get up to, like, you get up to 90%, and all of a sudden, like, a fucking forward tilt or a down tilt is killing. Smash does not have very much quality of life at all. Until, I'd say 4 is when they started adding some. Ultimate's got more. There's definitely input quality of life, too. Like how in Smash Ultimate, you can hit jump and attack at the same time to get instant air buttons. Very low nairs, very low fucking forward airs, shit like that. Guy's pretty good. He's like high-ish tier. He's notable because his AISM is weirdly good and his V-ISM is weirdly bad, so most people run AISM. It's only him and Gen that are like that. Gen's combos in V-ISM are super awkward. Guy's are not that bad, but his AISM combos are very confirmable because of his chain. That activate, he was so high up. That was a bad activate, I feel. Until you get to the meters, SF3 feels very pure. You know what I mean? Fireballs are decent. Jumps are decent. Ground pokes are decent. Everything you want kind of feels good. Cancels are decent. Combos don't do a super ton of damage, they just do a bit. Like what's Nash's max damage? Punish. If you don't take the meters into account, it's probably just something like low strong flash kick. That's very short and sweet and simple. The air throws are cool. The ground throws are cool. I'm a bit iffy about the... Its first throw wins. Even though it's 2-button throws, there's not teching, there's just, like, lowering the damage. It works like SF2. If you throw them first, it... if your throw is a frame before their throw, you throw them. And if it's the same frame, I think it's a coin flip. That's like SF2. And then you can soften the throw if you tech after they throw you. So the throw does like half damage or whatever. So that would all be well and good. I prefer a throw break to having coin flip on same frame, and I don't like one frame throws. I don't know if those are one frame in this game actually. Might not be. Almost. This is the game that debuted the multi-hit Sagat uppercut. Actually, I think if you pick X Sagat, he has one-hit uppercuts like SF2. But if you pick A or V, he has like 6-hit uppercuts. It's kind of funny. Gameplay-wise, they're not too different. It's purely a cosmetic thing. SF4 kind of went back on that and gave Sagat one-hit uppercuts for his base uppercut, and then his EX uppercut is like a 6-hit uppercut, so it's kind of got a reference to both. SF4 was really good at bringing back a lot of the references in creative little ways. The mechanics in creative little ways. Oh, look at that. Oh, one thing that's kind of gross about this game is that a lot of characters can combo from throws. Sodom can just juggle out of his throw, or one of the two. But certain characters, if they have a throw that knocks down and a command grab, they can throw knockdown and then activate the V-ISM, and then the command grab will OTG. A-ISM is multiple supers, and you can spend 1, 2, or 3. It's kind of like a C-Groove, a little bit. Except the level 2 supers don't cancel into stuff. They're just midway strong between level 1 and level 3 supers. A-ISM has most of the system mechanics as V-ISM. Ah, catchphrase just lost. Was that a same frame activate? Ken is not very common in this game. I think he's like mid-tier. Ryu and Akuma are both like high and top. Ryu is like a candidate for maybe top tier. He's like just outside it, I think. And Akuma is like probably top 4 in this game, top 3. Some old tier lists put him top 1, but I don't think he is anymore. He might still be. I saw a tier list for this game recently, and it had some weird ones. It was like a very modern tier list, but it wasn't the characters I'd expect in top tier. The tier list I'm used to is like Akuma, Dalsim, Chun-Li, Sodom, Zangief. I forget. Karin, I guess. Are all very strong characters. There's probably some others I'm forgetting. I hear rain. It's raining, guys. I live in California. I live in the desert. We get 10 inches or less of rain a year. And right now it's starting to rain. Oh shit, it's coming, dude. It went from no rain to like pounding rain. Just instantly. It's thunderstorms tomorrow. X does let you chain lights and heavies, yes. X also removes air blocking. But I think the way air blocking works is you can only air block like other air normals and also like fireballs. But I don't actually know the rules. It's not like you can just jump in and block a DP. I don't think. Or maybe you can, but it pushes you out super far. I don't remember. There's something that makes it like, you know, not broken. It's Juli. This character used to be bottom 1, but now she's not. Now I think the current idea of bottom 1 is Balrog. Apparently this character's pokes keep her alive. Juli is literally Cammy with less. Let's take Cammy. Let's make Spiral Arrow slower. And also let's make it not a low. And then let's remove some supers. And that's like Juli. They've got the same normals. They've got the same uppercut. They're both motion characters. But Cammy literally just has extra stuff. Oh, Juli has no hooligan either. I think most people don't even know Balrog is an A3. Since he's a secret character. The uppercut. She's got Cammy's exact uppercut. There's that not Spiral Arrow. That's the thing that makes her unique from Cammy. But it's not good. This is arcade version. Junie, Juli, and Balrog are in the arcade version, but they don't have any of the console characters. And yeah, Max is only PSP. There's 4, I think, versions. There's the arcade version, there's the console version, there's Upper, and then there's Max. So the console version added characters like Fei Long, I think, Evil Ryu, D-Hawk. And then Upper added characters like Eagle and Maki. And then Max added Ingrid. Upper added Yun. Fun fact. Yun's in this game. Go a little confirm. This is a horrible position to be in. This is an infinite, I think. He's being pretty creative about it. If your guard bar ever gets this low, something like jump roundhouse, crouch roundhouse will guard break you. And then after you get guard broken, you can just get swept, and then that can loop to another jump roundhouse, crouch roundhouse that you can't get out of. Cody has a very short guard bar, and you lose a bar every time you get guard broken. So if you guard break someone a couple times, it becomes basically unwinnable for them. Cody actually is the shortest guard bar in the game, and it's to compensate for the fact that he literally takes no guard damage most of the time. Because he'll step into the background of, like, mid-hits. So this is looking pretty dire again. Cody's got to not fucking block a 3-hit sequence. This is looking super... Even though the health bars aren't too far apart, Cody needs, like... He can't block anymore. You can see how helpless he is. There's not much invincibility in this game. Some characters have invincible uppercuts. V-ISM is invincible. A good number of supers are invincible. But supers are really expensive in this game. And also, unlike SF2, most of them are unsafe, I think. Oh, the easiest fucking VC in the whole game. See that little combo? She can't do much better than that because she doesn't have a spiral arrow. I don't think she can combo into her fucking... her jump kick. Maybe she can. She can definitely combo to her uppercut. Low short, low jab, walk and throw. Tick throws aren't as common in this game as they are in like SF3, 4, 5. Tiger. I don't know what Weapon Lord is. The overhead. I forgot she had that. I don't think Cammy has that. I think that's unique to her. I know. Sakura is 18 in this game, Cammy 16 in this game. Or Cammy, Sakura might be 17, I forget. There's very little attention drawn to Cammy's age. Whereas Sakura's age is like a huge part of her character. It's like Dixie and Tiny Kong. Do you guys know about that shit? A lot of people never played any of the fucking Donkey Kong like party games. The Donkey Kong Racing or whatever. Donkey Kong... I forget what the name of the game was. So Tiny Kong from Donkey Kong 64 is like theoretically Dixie's younger sister, I guess. But Dixie's design is really iconic and Tiny's isn't. So they redesigned Tiny Kong, and the way they did it was they aged her up. It's like, oh yeah, Tiny Kong grew up. But like Dixie Kong is still the same. So it looks super weird because Tiny Kong is now like twice as tall as Dixie Kong, and also looks considerably older. So one, she's called Tiny Kong and she's not tiny. Two, she's Dixie's younger sister and she's like considerably older than Dixie. Because they couldn't change Dixie's design, but they could change Tiny's. Donkey Kong has like the fucking weirdest like games, to be honest. I love the country games. And Returns are supposedly just 2 more country games, which is good. But then you get shit like fucking Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and Donkey Kong King of Swing. Nintendo every now and then just uses one of their IPs to make some weird shit. Remember Yoshi Topsy Turvy? So here's a Cammy, by the way. Low forward doesn't cancel for Cammy in this game. And I think low strong doesn't either. So this is like a no cancels Cammy, like SF2. Cammy became very cancel heavy in SF4. Why did they get rid of the announcer? There's technically still an announcer in SF5. It's the one that's like fucking this is the 9th win for player 1 or whatever. I turned that shit off. I never hear anymore. I missed the fucking announcer that's like you can't give it up, go for it. That's cool. That's like an actual cool thing that I do want to hear. Oh, Cammy fucking the medium punch does cancel. I lied. Left forward doesn't anyway. I think she's missing some other ones somewhere. My favorite, if you get stunned and you successfully shake out of stun, there's a unique announcer line for that in SF4. It's like, glad you can join us. Yes, I did see that. Wait, you just finally... I don't even want to talk about right now, to be honest. Let's not have that discussion right here. I have nothing good or bad to say about presently. I want it to be over, but also, like, there were some kind of rude things stated. And I didn't ever address those rude things with him. I don't think I said anything rude to him. But maybe he interpreted some things I said as rude, and maybe maybe they just were rude. I think a lot of people say ST Sim versus Guile is like 9-1, to be honest, so that might actually not be a good example. Because GN, or whatever, Gian, the ST Sim, he's like one of the best Sims in the world, and he called it 9-1. But most people don't call it 9-1, but like the best Sim in the world did, so. And Guiles like to call it 9-1, for what it's worth. It's in favor of Sim, it's horrible. Basically, any time that Guile throws a fireball, Sim can low strong, and Sim will hit Guile and punish the fireball, and also Sim will recover into the fireball and be able to block it. That's like one thing. There's a lot of reasons that Sim beats Guile. The dive kicks are also awful for Guile. And so are the slides. Blanca. That's the neutral jump fierce he has in SF5. Worst in the game. I think the worst matchup in the game I usually see is Sagat versus Cammy. Old Sagat versus Cammy. The thing about Honda versus Geef is that it's very shitty for Geef because everything Honda does beats everything Geef can do. But there's still a lot of different play from both players. So I feel like Geef can maybe, if he's really lucky, if the Honda fucks up, Geef can like slip between the cracks and actually get like some damage. But it's like impossible to fuck up Sagat versus Cammy because all you do is throw fucking hard low tiger shots. And if you get up one, you basically just win. All you have to do is just watch for the fucking forward jump and sweep the forward jump, or uppercut the forward jump, depending on how far away she is. And that's like just one thing to worry about, and that's it. As soon as you're in that situation, the match is over. I know Honda can literally just hold down back and hit crouch jab. And he can also just do, he can mash 100 hands, and they've got a big hitbox, and Geef can't punish them. You can neutral jump fierce over and over, I think. There's like a lot of things Honda can do that just make it impossible to approach. That one's just an example of like pure neutral domination. Same with Chun-Li versus Geef. It's not a particular thing that makes Geef lose. It's just that the hitboxes just go very unfavorably in every scenario. It's like the same with Oro and Chun-Li. There's not a particular thing Chun-Li has that makes it bad for Oro. It's just that her normals beat his normals. No, but I asked, just for the record, I asked Gunfight. I tweeted him. I tweeted Gunfight. I was like, "How was did Alex have 8-2s in season 2?" And he said yes. So you guys can fucking, you can say maybe Gunfight's talking out of his ass. Maybe he doesn't appreciate an 8-2, or you can take him at his word. I don't know. Up to you. But I think if there's an authority at all, it probably is Gunfight. I can't think of another one who would know better than him. I asked Prototype too, and he said no. And granted, I don't think Prototype is as good as Gunfight, but you know, just to get those opinions out there. They were the only two I asked. Props to Gunfight for replying to me. Seems like a nice guy. I mean, you know, Season 2 Alex was bad. I have revised my opinion that, like, SF3 Alex versus Season 2 Alex has a clear winner. I thought it did. But, honestly, I asked some people, I looked at some fucking facts, I refreshed my memory on what Season 2 Alex was like, courtesy of Om, and honestly, it is a hard call for me now, with what I know. 8-2 is... I don't want to get into the fucking actual discussion. We keep on getting close, and I don't want to get into it. Me and Om had a fight, that's it. It was a fight over something stupid. We both knew that it was something stupid. From the start to the end. But we both, like... I don't know. We both took it seriously and we both fucking took it too far. Nice. I'm not here to talk about I'm not here to talk about Alex. I'm here to talk about fucking Ryu and Nash. A quote that always stuck with me. I forget who said it, but I remember it very distinctly when I was getting into fighting games. It was that Ryu and Guile in Street Fighter 2 in Super Turbo. That matchup at the time was 20 years old, which so I guess this was in like 2011. At the time that no, I was like 15 years old. I think it was like 2000. It was like 2006. It was something like that, right? Super Turbo 1991. The quote was that Ryu and Guile in Super Turbo are still finding there's still new technology being discovered in that matchup that like changes it one way or the other. And that's one of the most simple matchups. I wouldn't say the most simple. Guile's not very simple at all. But that's one of the most simple games. Don't even don't say 20 years to me. And yet people are still finding some shit. I said I don't want to get into it. Fuck, I keep on like almost getting into it. I don't want to get into it. I do not want to talk about this. I'm almost getting jebaited into a fucking conversation about Alex. I don't want to talk about anything I said or anything Om said. For what it's worth, I think I got misconstrued a bit. Or rather, not I got misconstrued. Well, yes, I got misconstrued. I misconstrued what he was saying, and he misconstrued my reply a little bit. Because I realized later on, late yesterday, that we had different standards for what being worse is. So it was especially, one, it's comparing a character who doesn't exist anymore, and two, it's literally comparing like apples and oranges, except not literally. And three, like, there was a communication error. I'm 27, but in a week's time I will be 28. Old man bath. Alpha counters are fucking expensive in V-ISM. In X-ISM you can't even do them. That's like the big weapon A-ISM has that actually makes it a consideration against V-ISM. The supers are decent too. But supers are generally nowhere near as good as custom combos. For almost the whole cast. But the alpha counter being cheap is actually pretty cool. It's like not rare for Sim to pick A-Groove, A-ISM, just so he has cheaper alpha counters, so he can do like 3 instead of 2. Sim also has decent supers, for what it's worth. And Sim doesn't have the greatest V-ISM abuse. It's actually pretty good. It's just hard, it's technical. He doesn't have any fucking Ryu fireball loop kind of stuff. Actually, he might have that, but you never corner anyone in Sim, so. Ryu can dizzy you in one touch, but another thing he can do is melt your guard bar. Ryu close roundhouse is 2 hits, and it does a lot of guard damage. It's like a full fucking bar by itself, almost. So Ryu's really good at guard breaking. Yeah, so you guys know what I'm talking about with the alpha counters. For V-ISM, it costs half your meter, costs 50% of your charge, but in A-ISM it costs only a third. And then it costs a chunk of your guard bar too. Ryu's fake fireball is technically an HDR. But yeah, in terms of main games, it's just alpha. The input's pretty wonky too. I think it's quarter circle forward plus like the player 1 start button or whatever, the player 2 start. It was a pretty weird input. If you were playing side by side on an American cab, the opponent would be able to see you reach over for that button. I used to play side by side Dreamcast fighting games, and I used to always turn my hand sideways whenever I was about to do a super, because the supers were like multi-punch or multi-kick. In oh, it ended in MBC1. This was, and one of my friends, like whenever I was about to do a super, he would see me turn my hand sideways, and he would just block. And so my supers never worked. And he told me he didn't like keep it a secret. He was like, I can always just see. And I was like, what the hell? That's cheap. And after that, I started playing sitting behind him. We were both playing on Dreamcast default controllers.